Liens and deed restrictions questions. Question 1. Quinton is assisting with a single-family home transaction in Saginaw. Which principle applies when the facts involve equipment installed by a commercial tenant for use in the tenant's business? Option A, point of beginning. Option B, riparian rights. Option C, fixture. Option D, a trade fixture. The correct answer is option D, trade fixture. Leaving the equipment after the permitted removal period can result in ownership passing to the landlord. Business equipment installed by a tenant is usually removable before the lease ends. Removal must occur without substantial damage, and the tenant may have to repair any injury caused by removal. Question 2. Which answer most accurately identifies official authorization that a completed structure or space may be occupied for an approved use in a real estate transaction? Option A, a certificate of occupancy. Option B, general lien. Option C, a zoning ordinance. Option D, easement in gross. The correct answer is option A, certificate of occupancy. Occupancy before issuance can violate local requirements. A change in use may require a new approval even without major construction. The document generally follows required inspections and confirmation of code compliance. Question 3. A question arising during buyer consultation concerns a charge imposed on property receiving a particular public improvement benefit. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, subdivision regulation. Option B, special assessment. Option C, buffer zone. Option D, building code. The correct answer is option B, special assessment. The charge may become a lien against the benefited parcel. It differs from a general property tax used for broad governmental expenses. The assessment may pay for sidewalks, sewers, streets, or similar local projects. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. While analyzing a retail suite, Jonah must apply the concept involving a standard 1-square-mile unit in the government survey system. Which answer should be selected? Option A, severalty ownership. Option B, fixture. Option C, section. Option D, periodic tenancy. The correct answer is option C, section. A regular 1-square-mile survey division contains 640 acres. It forms one of 30-6 numbered divisions in a standard township. Fractional descriptions divide this unit into halves, quarters, and smaller parts. Question 5. Which real estate term is defined by an item once movable that has become attached with the intent that it remain? Option A, personal property. Option B, meets and bounds. Option C, section. Option D, fixture. The correct answer is option D, fixture. Once classified this way, the item ordinarily transfers with the property unless the contract provides otherwise. Attachment, adaptation, intent, and agreement help determine whether an installed item becomes part of the real estate. Disputes are reduced when the sales contract identifies included and excluded items. Question 6. In a transaction involving a mixed-use property, which rule controls when there is water-related rights of owners whose land borders a flowing body of water? Option A, riparian rights. Option B, tenancy at sufferance. Option C, reversion interest. Option D, life estate. The correct answer is option A, riparian rights. The owner may have reasonable use of the water subject to public rights and the rights of other owners. State law determines the exact scope of use and ownership. Boundaries and access can change as the watercourse changes gradually. Question 7. A investor asks about a statutory claim protecting persons who provide qualifying labor or materials to improve real property. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, subdivision regulation. Option B, mechanics lien. Option C, eminent domain. Option D, escheat. The correct answer is option B, mechanics lien. Payment disputes should be resolved before the claim matures into enforcement. The claimant must comply with notice, filing, and timing requirements. The lien attaches to the improved property and can affect sale or refinancing. Question 8. PREA encounters a legal description referencing a recorded subdivision plat during an offer review. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, personal property. Option B, tenancy by the entirety. Option C, lot and block system. Option D, point of beginning. The correct answer is option C, lot and block system. The recorded map provides the dimensions and relationship of the parcel to surrounding lots and streets. This method is common in plat urban and suburban developments. The parcel is identified by lot number, block designation, subdivision name, and recording information. Are you looking for real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access real estate study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get real estate answer key today. Question 9. Which choice best matches the description standards governing construction quality, materials, occupancy, and safety? Option A, mechanics lien. Option B, easement by necessity. Option C, easement appurtenant. Option D, building code. The correct answer is option D, building code. Zoning controls location and use, while construction codes focus on how structures are built and occupied. Permits and inspections help enforce compliance during building and renovation. These rules protect occupants and the public by establishing minimum construction requirements. Question 10. During review of a condominium unit in Ocean City, the parties discuss the identified location from which a meets minus and minus bounds boundary description starts and ends. Which term applies? Option A, point of beginning. Option B, reversion interest. Option C, life estate. Option D, joint tenancy. The correct answer is option A, point of beginning. A boundary description must connect its final callback to its starting location. The starting reference should be identifiable on the ground or through reliable survey information. Failure to close can signal an error or ambiguity in the legal description. Question 11. An exam scenario presents co-minus ownership characterized by a right of survivorship and traditionally equal unified interests. Which answer is most accurate? Option A, life estate. Option B, joint tenancy. Option C, meets and bounds. Option D, tenancy at sufferance. The correct answer is option B, joint tenancy. The required unities must exist when the ownership form is created. When one owner dies, that share passes automatically to the surviving joint owner or owners. A transfer by one owner can sever the survivorship feature as to that share. Question 12. A licensee preparing for a due diligence meeting must recognize a use permitted in a zoning district only after specified standards and approval requirements are met. Which concept does this describe? Option A, eminent domain. Option B, variance. Option C, conditional use. Option D, escheat. The correct answer is option C, conditional use. The zoning law identifies the use as potentially acceptable under controlled conditions. This differs from an illegal use that has no authorization in the district. The reviewing authority may impose reasonable conditions connected to land-use impacts. Question 13. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving recorded notice that litigation may affect title to identified real property? Option A, deed restriction. Option B, non-conforming use. Option C, subdivision regulation. Option D, lease pendens. The correct answer is option D, lease pendens. It does not itself decide who will win the litigation. The notice warns purchasers and lenders that the lawsuit can determine property rights. A later transferee generally takes subject to the outcome of the pending case. Question 14. At a property management audit in Bowie, Amina explains a land description method based on principal meridians, baselines, townships, ranges, and sections. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, government survey system. Option B, real property. Option C, a trade fixture. Option D, planned unit development. The correct answer is option A, government survey system. A standard township contains 30-6 sections, although irregularities can occur. Descriptions identify increasingly smaller portions of a section. The system divides land into a grid of townships and sections. Question 15. A transaction file for a vacant parcel raises an issue involving a physical intrusion of an improvement across a boundary line. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, variance. Option B, encroachment. Option C, conditional use. Option D, easement in gross. The correct answer is option B, encroachment. Possible remedies include removal, an agreement, an easement, or litigation. A survey may reveal the condition before purchase or financing. Fences, buildings, and driveways can create this problem when they extend onto neighboring land. Question 16. Which concept should a buyer representative apply to facts involving a use right benefiting a person or organization rather than another parcel? Option A, encroachment. Option B, easement appurtenant. Option C, easement in gross. Option D, mechanics lien. The correct answer is option C, easement in gross. Utility companies frequently hold this type of right for lines and equipment. The interest may be transferable depending on its nature and governing law. No dominant parcel is required because the benefit is personal or commercial. Question 17. For a liens and deed restrictions question study session, Malik analyzes a rental home during a lease negotiation in Silver Spring. Rena is studying a rule concerning possession by a tenant who remains after a lawful lease has ended without the landlord's consent. Which term should be chosen? Option A, a fee simple absolute. Option B, government survey system. Option C, estate for years. Option D, tenancy at sufferance. The correct answer is option D, tenancy at sufferance. This status is different from trespass at the beginning because the original possession was valid. The occupant entered legally but stays beyond the authorized period. The landlord may pursue lawful eviction or accept rent and create a new tenancy. Question 18. When a waterfront parcel transaction involves a claim that can attach to all real and personal property of a debtor, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, general lien. Option B, deed restriction. Option C, taking. Option D, special assessment. The correct answer is option A, general lien. The lien is not limited to one identified parcel. A specific lien, by contrast, attaches to particular property. Judgment and tax obligations can create broad claims depending on applicable law. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A practice question describes a use right that benefits one parcel and burdens another parcel. Which response is best? Option A, encroachment. Option B, easement appurtenant. Option C, taking. Option D, a zoning ordinance. The correct answer is option B, easement appurtenant. It is tied to parcel ownership rather than to a particular individual. The benefited and burdened parcels are commonly described as dominant and servient estates. The right ordinarily transfers with the land even when it is not mentioned in every later deed. Question 20. During an offer review, which principle is illustrated by a development arrangement combining individually owned property with shared facilities or common areas? Option A, section. Option B, periodic tenancy. Option C, planned unit development. Option D, lot and block system. The correct answer is option C, planned unit development. Recorded declarations and rules control common expenses and use restrictions. The design may mix housing types and uses under an approved development plan. Owners usually hold title to their lots or units and share responsibilities through an association. Question 21. Which answer states the concept associated with individual ownership of a unit combined with an undivided interest in common elements? Option A, estate for years. Option B, a subsurface rights. Option C, lot and block system. Option D, condominium ownership. The correct answer is option D, condominium ownership. Financing and transfer generally involve the individual unit rather than shares in a corporation. Association documents govern maintenance, assessments, and use restrictions. The unit owner receives title to a defined space and shares ownership of common areas. Question 22. A buyer handling a subdivision lot in Lansing must identify the legal ability to use or control space above a parcel. Which choice is correct? Option A, hair rights. Option B, personal property. Option C, a fee simple absolute. Option D, tenancy at will. The correct answer is option A, air rights. These rights may be sold, leased, or limited separately from surface ownership when law permits. Development above rail lines, roads, or existing structures often depends on this interest. Zoning and safety regulations still control what may be built. Question 23. During a title examination for a small apartment building in Novi, Daria needs to identify the rule described as a future interest retained by the grantor after conveying a lesser estate. Which answer applies? Option A, a tenancy by the entirety. Option B, reversion interest. Option C, a subsurface rights. Option D, metes and bounds. The correct answer is option B, reversion interest. No new deed is required for the interest to return according to the original conveyance. The grantor keeps the right to regain possession when the temporary estate ends. This differs from a remainder, which is created in someone other than the grantor. Question 24. A appraiser is reviewing a rental home in East Lansing. Which term describes co-ownership in which each owner has an undivided interest without a required right of survivorship? Option A. Government survey system. Option B. Severalty ownership. Option C. Tenancy in common. Option D. Condominium ownership. The correct answer is option C. Tenancy in common. Co-owners may hold unequal shares while each retains the right to possess the whole property. At death, the interest passes through the owner's estate rather than automatically to the other co-owners. An owner may transfer that individual share without the consent of the other owners, subject to existing agreements. Question 25. At an inspection period, a Michigan exam candidate encounters the following description: government authority to regulate property use for public health, safety, morals, and welfare. Which concept is being tested? Option A. Buffer zone. Option B. Taking. Option C. Easement in gross. Option D. A police power. The correct answer is option D. Police power. An extreme restriction that removes all economic use may raise a separate taking issue. State and local governments rely on this authority to adopt zoning, building, and safety rules. The regulation does not require compensation merely because it limits a use, provided it remains a valid public regulation.